Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. Hop on. As you're hopping on, please tell me hello. Tell me where you're coming from. I'm hoping we're going to keep power. I just got 2 notifications on my watch that, well, I got the wrong code there. Forgot I changed it. Okay, there we go. So, let's see if I can't get to the Chardon Sign Shack one. There we go. I'm trying to get to my secondary device there. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Trying to get my... You got to have so many devices here to get online. But as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know if you're watching this live or on replay. If it's live, in the upper left-hand corner, there's going to be a little red button, little red thing that says live. I can see we've got 5 people on. I have no comments yet, so I'm just waiting for a comment to make sure my comments are working. There's April. Hello. Hello, April. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me turn my comments off my other device and we'll get started here. But anyhow, welcome. I'm back. How fun was that? Hi, Jamie. Thank you for sprinkling. To sprinkle means to do this. If you're new to the Stencil Smith, every Tuesday we go live. We have a project that I do in that stencil. Sometimes that stencil and others, it just depends, are always 20% off, and then you can save an additional 15% with my code. But we always do a giveaway, and so this featured stencil that we're doing that day is always 20% off and 15% with my code, so that's 35% every single Tuesday. And then you can save an extra 15% with my code as well. But welcome, welcome. Hi, Carol. Hi, Sandy. I hope everybody had a good time at that event the other day. How fun was that? That was so much fun. The projects were just beautiful. That gingerbread man and the little, it looked like a little Pyrex bowl to me. And then the snowman and Rudolph. It was so fun. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Donna. So make sure to sprinkle. This is going to be the giveaway today. I really like this one. I almost used this on my Rudolph the other day on the back of it. I did not, but it's 9808. You know what? I think we gave this away the other day. Did we? No, we gave a Nordic deer. Okay, we didn't. Okay, so maybe we did. I don't know. But I was going to use this. You did, Carol. Yeah, they're awesome. I have, of course, I had the Rudolph. But I have all of them as well. I'm getting the other 2 because I love them so much. They're so cute. I mean, who doesn't love buffalo chip? Come on. So, hi, Sherry. Sherry pre-sprinkled and sprinkled. So if you sprinkle, this is the giveaway today, which is really cute. Like I said, I almost used this on the back. This is the Rudolph. I don't think I got to show it at the end of the live, but this is, I did stage it, but this is how it turned out. With the bow and the little greenery up top and the burlap ribbon. And then I forgot to show you as well. Hi, Judy. Hi, Sheila. I did add a little bit of the dimensional, which I've used before. It's this stuff right here, and I did list it, but it's Glossy Accents. You can get it on Amazon or Hobby Lobby. And it's got a real fine tip, but see how it made Rudolph's nose. I don't know if you can see how it just glows there. It dries clear and shiny. So it gives Rudolph that bling. That little bit of shiny nose there. So I did finish it, and my thoughts were, I had pulled this out and I was going to put this on the back. I still may. I'll just have to be careful with the ribbon. Go around it and with my greenery there. But I have to get rid of my, I have to get on my orders, like my Christmas orders that people have ordered before I start fooling around and finishing anything else. I have all these pillows ordered and stuff like that. And those gingerbreads that I did, the gingerbread, thank you, Judy. But anyhow, this is the giveaway. I had this pulled out and I decided I'll use this as the giveaway. This is what I was going to do on the back of my Rudolph, but I ran out of time. I wanted to do this on the back, but I thought it's really cute. The deer with the little stick trees, very, very cute. And it would look cute on the back of that. So that's the giveaway. All you have to do is sprinkle, which means to do this. And then when you sprinkle, make sure to write sprinkle in the comments, because we don't always, I don't know where that came from. That must be an extra number. We don't always see, because a lot of people have private settings on their Facebook, so you need to make sure that you write sprinkled in the comments so we can make sure you're entered into the giveaway. And at the end of the live, I show a couple stencils that I've gotten recently, and then we have the giveaway at the end after that. I'm losing track of my thought. So I've got a random number. I'm going to put over there so I don't lose it. But this is, I usually show this at the beginning of my lives. If you're new, this is me, Chardon Sign Shack. My code is always going to be Sign Shack, SIGN, You can always save 15% on your total order. Hi, Susan. How are you from Minnesota? I bet you're even colder than Ohio. We just got a high wind notification and it's snowing real bad again. But so Sign Check is my code. This stencil that we're doing today is 10211. The link is in my description. So after this live, I'll post this video and you'll be able to click on the link and go right to there. And I'm using the medium, the size medium. I'm making a garden flag today, which I've done a lot of times. But I had my first Rudolph I did, I'll show you. So I had two sized Rudolphs, and the first one I did like this, and I did do the candy cane signs as well. I did that, number one, to find out what colors I wanted to do for the live, since we only had an hour and I didn't have a lot of time to like think about it. And also to see how long it would take, because we were on an hour limit and I wanted to make sure I could get it done. So this is the first one I did. There's no greenery, but it is going to be a flag. So when I do my wooden garden flags, a lot of you girls know. Hi, Kimberly, how are you? I do them on a 1x12 and I cut them 16 inches long. And I buy my garden flag holders either at Home Depot or Walmart. And I forgot where I was going with this. Oh my gosh. I buy them there. Make sure you don't buy a flag holder that is a two-piece like off of Amazon. They will not hold these. And the one thing I would recommend for yourself, or if you sell these, is to tell people to take them down in high winds, because it will bend your hook, because it's going back and forth like that. But you can always just take it. I've done it a bunch of times when I've forgotten to take mine off. I've taken mine and just went like that with my hook and straightened it right back out. So it's not a biggie, but I always like to tell people that. We sold a lot of these garden flags at our fall show. My sister and I did. And the one thing I did different on this was the snowflakes. I don't know if it will show up in the mirror. And I don't know if this will stay. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on it. But I put that, not the diamond dust, but I put Mod Podge through the stencil and something. Oh, the Distress Rock Candy. So I don't know if that'll hold up after it's sealed outside, but I was just fooling around with it. And like I said, I just stippled that Mod Podge and then put the, shook this on there and shook it off. But I don't know how well that glitter will hold up in the elements. But anyhow, just to show you another thing to do, just make sure that you, if you do use Mod Podge on your stencil, to rinse it off right away. So you can see the glitter. See, I can't really see it on my secondary device. But anyhow, so the opposite side of this, I am going to do the stencil today. So it's going to be a double-sided flag. We're going to have Rudolph on the one side, And then I have this beautiful poinsettia, which I've been dying to do this one here. 'Tis the Season. I think it's so pretty. It reminds me a lot of the stained glass ones. Hi, Donna. How are you? And I'm going to angle you down, and we're going to get started. Again, this is the medium. So this is on a 1x12 that I've cut 16 inches long, and it's a medium stencil. And I'm just going to center that. And I did paint the background. I didn't use a solid black, but I used ash. So this ash color, which is, it's not a dark black, but it's like a charcoaly black. It's a little bit softer black. And that's what I used on my Rudolph as well. I had it out, so that's what I went with. But black would be really nice too. I'm using a mixture of Fusion mineral paints and Deco Art paints today. I did list them in the description before the live, so you can have those afterwards. If I use anything else, I'll make sure to go back and list those afterwards. I'm trying to be a little more organized here. There's no guarantee. So let's angle that down really good, and I'm going to tape my stencil down, and I'm going to do a coat of gray on it. And this is exactly why I did the gray the first time when I went on Sunday, because it does take a little, I mean, it doesn't take that much longer, but when you're on a 1 hour time crunch, you have to get that. So I really like this slate gray right here, Deco Arts. I use that all the time for my base coating. You could use white, and you could also use, I have this blue-gray color from Fusion Mineral, and it's paisley. And if see how it's kind of like a blue-gray? That works wonderful too if you have anything like that. Thank you. Yeah, it was very exciting, Bonnie. Now we just got to get that in the afternoons, right? I appreciate all you girls for tuning in and for supporting me, and supporting all the girls and supporting the Stencil Smith. They're a lovely bunch of girls to work with, and so talented. So talented. Okay, so we're just going to get started. If you're new to stenciling, hi Patty. I always use my Stencil Smith brushes. I saw you doing a countdown, Bonnie, and I appreciate it. I saw it and I was like, oh, I got a little nervous. I get nervous easy though. So I got so nervous the other day, I was breaking out in hives about something. Like that happens to me often. So this is a 1/2 inch brush. The Stencil Smith brushes are the best brushes you're ever going to use. You just want to get a little bit of paint on the tip. You can see how it's a little bit, I apologize, that back camera, it goes blurry. But it's got a little bit of goop on it, but you just want it on the tip of your brush. And this is for all you new girls. We all started somewhere, and I never know. Oh, thank you, Casey. That's so sweet. That is just awesome. It would be awesome, wouldn't it, Bonnie? I would like to grow. I would love for the Stencil Smith to get bigger and bigger. They are the best company out there. It was a wonderful time, Catherine. So you offload. I use shop towels. You could use a paper towel. You could use coffee filters. You could use this brown paper. Paper plates aren't very good. They're slick, so they're not very good for offloading. But I offload, and I'm just going to start with this coat of gray. And it seems like I've been using black all the time. And you're always going to want to use like a gray, or like I said, that like gray blue. You could use, because I have used that if I'm doing something with that paisley, I use that color. And it works really well for a background too. But if you don't do this on your black, and I apologize, I know like Bonnie and like Becca, like a lot of you girls that have been around for a long time know all this stuff. But I always like to go over it every time just because we have new people join us all the time, and I want them to learn just the same way I did and how you did. So it's just the gray, and I'm doing it to make everything pop on that black. Otherwise, you stencil your butt off, and although it's the holidays, I could lose a couple pounds here and there, especially after the Oreo debauchery I went on yesterday. But you could just keep stenciling and stenciling, and it's hard to get that vibrant pop, but this makes it so much easier. And the gray is a nicer base color than the white. There is nothing wrong with the white, but the edges don't show as much as they do with the white. Sometimes you'll see like a white outline. It doesn't bother me. If it did, I'd take my liner brush and I'd just fill it in real quick. To me, sometimes it makes it look dimensional, but it does bother some people really bad. So there's some things that bother me, but in a lot of things, I'm a go with the flow kind of person. Yeah, I got these, thank you, Bonnie. It's such a beautiful stencil. I got these cookies at Aldi. They were Aldi brand Oreos, but they have the peppermint, like the candy canes in the middle icing. Oh, I bought them for the grandkids. They're not going to be here till Friday because I try to only go like once a week to the store if I can help it. And I was doing really good. And then I went in there and Jeff had the container out and he had it open and he'd been in it. And that was all I needed. And I ate a lot of Oreos. Boy, they were so good. If you haven't tried them, I recommend them. They're really good. I think Trader Joe's has their kind. I've seen, there's another local grocery store around here, Giant Eagle store brand. They have their kind. And they all taste the same, but they're so good. Oh, that's good. It's that subliminal messaging, right? So if you guys don't know about the Stencil Smith, again, I am the ambassador. I've been the ambassador for 3 years now. I can hardly believe it. April and Pete are the owners. They are the most wonderful people. And as somebody who works with them, they're wonderful and supporting to work with. They're as nice as you would think they are. They're that nice. They're just amazing. And all their stencils are cut to order. So when I say cut to order, what I mean is they never go out of stock. So when this live is over, if you order this stencil, not tonight because it's late here in Ohio, but tomorrow, first thing, April and Pete will be cutting these stencils and shipping them out that quickly. Can't help what the mail does, what the United States Postal Office does. I'm sure they try their best too. It's a tough time of year for everybody and the weather doesn't help. So, yeah, once you officially open the bag, it's over. You're making some chocolate covered Oreos. Oh, that sounds so good. You should try some of those chocolate covered Oreos with the crushed peppermint in it. It'd be like a peppermint patty, Sherry. It would be amazing. But, so they cut their stencils to order and there's different sizes. Like this is a medium. I'm sure there's a large. There might be a small. I don't know. I don't know the exact sizes, but there's usually 3 or 4 different sizes to a stencil. Occasionally there's only one size, but usually there's 3 to 4, I'd say, sizes. And you pick the size that works for you. And when you pick it, even in the description, like if you look on their website, it'll tell you fits a 1x10 nicely or a 1x12 nicely. And if you've been working with wood long enough, you learn like this is a 1x12, so it's not really 12 inches. I don't know why, but it's not. It's 11.25 inches. So it's always smaller, a 1x12 smaller, a 1x10 smaller. Did I say this is a 1x12 and it's 11.25? I hope I didn't say a 1x10. Anyhow, you get the meaning. But the wood is always smaller than what it says. So I'm just doing this first coat of gray here, and then we're going to start adding our color, which is going to be fun. And I'm going to give it just a quick little dry, just real quick here. And I think we'll do a little shading on this one. I pulled out some colors to shade it with. You bought some of the mint Oreos? Oh my goodness. I'm pretty much offloading in the same place, Stephanie, and may I say welcome. We're really glad to have you here. If you haven't joined Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith, which is our sharing group, make sure to join that too after the live. But yeah, I'm offloading in the same place. These shop towels are super absorbent. Like I've used this side, I could still use that corner, and when I'm done, I'm so cheap, I'll open them up carefully and I'll fold it back over and I'll use the inside. But I'm just going over it in the same place. I made a bigger one than I should, but yes, in the same place. So I'm gonna get a little bit. Now this is Fuchsia Mineral. Any red will work for you. This is Fort York red. I already got paint all over my name tag. But this is my favorite red, especially for Christmas or patriotic. It's a really, really bright. I have not found a Deco Arts red that's exactly like this one, or I would tell you. So this one is wonderful, and you can get your brushes, I think, appropriate. I think we can use a 1/2 inch brush on this. And that's another thing too. Oh, is that why they lose volume in the planer after the original cut? So that's not cheap, that's smart. See, I think it's smart, April. Jeff would say I'm cheap. Jeff's like, you'd squeeze a buffalo off of a nickel. But I don't know. I don't like being wasteful. You know what I mean? So I've got, again, more paint on my brush, just on the tip, as you can see. And the biggest thing to stenciling is you're going to want to offload good. And you want a dry brush, so I think you could probably see the difference. It's not as glistening. How do you get that red in a small bottle? I pour it in, Maggie. Occasionally I spill it, but I just pour it in. I try to do it. So I'm going to start stenciling, and when I stencil, I like to swirl, and you can always put your fingers down. I do that a lot of times, and it just kind of stabilizes everything as you go around. And I will tell you this, I have tried many different brushes, and when April was developing her brushes and searching for the perfect brush, she took a while. I tested a lot of brushes for her, and this was just the perfect brush. She put a lot of thought into it, and I know all the girls here, they will certainly, and again, I'm just offloading in that same spot right there. All the girls here will tell you, if they have tried these brushes, they are the absolute best brushes out there. They go on very similar to a sponge. They're dense. I think this is a leaf here. See, and that's another thing. You can always look back and forth at the picture on the website if you get a little confused, but I'm certain that's a leaf there. And I'm going to make these berries here this vibrant red too. I could have probably went down a size to the 3/8 brush because it would go in there a lot easier. I'm going to make these other berries white, and that's pretty much what she has in the oh no, I think I want these white. Okay, I want these white, so I'm gonna have to go over them. I want the holly ones red. So these ones right here are the ones I want red. And I think that one there I'm gonna make red, like with the holly. And I think that's all the holly there is. I may make those couple red there too. I may just leave these red because it doesn't matter. We can have red and white berries. Oh, I have one more I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to do the other poinsettia. So we have 2 of them here. And you just swirl and you lightly swirl, and you might be careful sometimes or mindful when you're doing the thinner bridges, when you're swirling them around them. They can shift on you. They're not shifting on me, but they can. Yes, if you're ever looking for, well, I may have to do them in white then, Bonnie, because that's one of those things that will bug me. But if you're ever trying to round out your order, like for free shipping, a brush is a great thing to throw in. And don't forget their cleaner. They have a cleaner. Actually, I have it right here. This Masters brush cleaner and the Heart Scrubby. These are awesome. And they clean your brushes up really good, and they also condition them. So let's just get that red in there. And every time I do dip in that paint, always take it off. Occasionally I'm talking on a live and I forget to offload, so that always ends strangely. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to do, and I do have a paper baggie that I keep the mistletoes between the 2 poinsettias. This is the mistletoe. I thought this was a piece of holly here. Isn't this holly like this? This right here. So you're talking this is mistletoe berries. Oh, that would be really pretty. A vintage white, yeah, that would be super pretty. But anyhow, put your brushes in a baggie there. That would be great. And it keeps them moist while you're stenciling. The pine cone, I'm going to go ahead and do, so this is mistletoe, you're saying. That's not mistletoe. It looked like holly to me. This is Deco Arts Sable Brown, and I'm going to make the pine cone that brown. And I'm again going to get a 1/2-inch brush here, and you could always use the smaller 3/8 and just offload there. No, this one right here. This is the mistletoe. That's what I thought. I'm all messed up, Bonnie. Sometimes that's why I print a cheat sheet before I go live, so I can keep everything straight. It's a really, really, it's a really beautiful stencil, and that red is really vibrant. I wish I could find one in Deco Arts, but I have not found one that's that particular shade of red, and it just really pops. So as you can see, the one coat is still, you can still see through it. You're going to have to do a couple coats, but you're doing thin layers of paint. Okay, so let's do the middles of the berries, the poinsettias. I'm going to do these in this Prairie Sunset, which is another fusion color. So right there, this one here, it's kind of like a medium yellow, almost like a sunflower. And I think I will get a 3/8. No, I think I'm going to get a 1/4 inch for this. And again, the same thing. I'm going to dip my brush in the paint and just offload. And then I'm going to fill those berries in. And this is a really good size for this one. And then the same here. Need just a little bit more paint. I'm running out. I'm the one who's confused now, Bonnie. I'm all messed up. My dad, his name is Donald, and they gave him the nickname of Duck when he was very young. Everybody calls him Duck, and a lot of the old people still do. I'm going to do these holly leaves in this holly green deco arts. I've really liked this green. It's a nice bright green. And anyhow, my dad has that nickname, and I tease him because he gets a little confused sometimes, and if you can't have a sense of humor, I don't know how you get through life, honestly. But I tell him all the time he's one messed up duck. So that's okay. Don't worry about it, Bonnie. It's okay. It's okay. And I almost did the pressed fern from, I may still do the pressed fern. I don't know. Let's see here. But this is a really, really bright, and they call it holly green, so I figure it's good for holly, right? And I think that's holly. I'm not a very good plant person. Maybe it is mistletoe. Is this mistletoe? Is this mistletoe with the red berries? I don't really know. I was thinking it was holly. I'm not a very big plant person. My husband is the plant guy. I kill everything. If it was up to me, the only thing I've ever been able to grow is geraniums. Those are hard to kill. And I planted this alyssum about, oh my gosh, I bet it's been about 30 years ago. And I love it, but my husband, he gets aggravated with it. He's like, oh, it gets everywhere and the seeds spread everywhere. But I think it's really pretty and very whimsical. So I think I'm going to do these leaves in the Coventry right here, which is this color, green, and that's Fusion Mineral. Pointy leaves are holly. Thank you, girls. Heck, I don't know. So I'm going to get another brush, and I am going to pick up this Fusion Mineral green here. And it's a very muted green, so it's way different than that green. And I'm going to get in here and paint these. I think I'll make the branches espresso, these little branches, I think. Yeah, so any mistakes I make in the names, that's all my fault because I am not a plant person. I love plants. I just, I don't have a very good green thumb. But like I said, thank goodness Jeff does. He has all these flowers growing everywhere, and tomatoes and strawberries and all kinds of stuff. I do not have that, that talent. My daughter has a really good green thumb. I just don't. Although her kids, her dogs, inevitably end up killing her plants. Usually her dogs. Or the cat. Let me see how that's looking with that green. That green and that green. I think that's going to look okay. I wonder if I should go to my pressed fern. Okay, now you can always change your mind on colors. Don't feel like you can't. Because I'm feeling like this bright green is a little too bright. And I might grab some pressed fern and put on it. We'll see. So these I'm going to do in like a brown, I think. I might do these green. I don't know what they are, but I'll do this like a darker brown. I don't know if they're branches. These aren't branches, these are mistletoe. What color is mistletoe? These aren't branches either. Are they all mistletoe, Becca? I'm going to know what stuff is before the end of this live. That's for sure. Like a blue-green. Yeah, I think I need to tone it down. I'm not liking this green. And these berries I am going to change to white. But I am going to do a coat of gray here over that red. Or red and white is going to be pink berries. So let's just do a coat of gray there. I meant to do those whites. Sometimes I get carried away. So we've got that gray, and we'll be letting that dry. So, yeah, I don't like this green. I feel like it's really out of place here. Where was the other? I'm going to do this. I think this might be, what did you say it was? Mistletoe? I don't know. But it's going to be today. That's the thing about stenciling. It can be anything you want it to be. So I'm going to grab, let's see. I don't know if I want this baby. I think I'm going to grab this pressed thorn. This is a little bit darker. It's still a bright, but it's a darker green. This one right here. I think this goes a lot better with this Coventry and this color scheme. And you'll see, you'll get something on there and all of a sudden you'll be like, ooh, that doesn't quite fit, I don't think. The only thing is you have to dirty another brush when you change your mind, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna go over this because I'll put 2 coats on it. I probably should have put a coat of gray on it because it's gonna pick up that green underneath. Let me do that. Do a coat of gray. I'm going to do it up here so that green isn't showing. I want to just tone that down a little bit. And we're going to do little white berries everywhere. And then we'll do another coat and we'll do some shading, and we're not doing too bad on time. At all. These mistletoes or these mistletoes, let me know. Okay. There, that way when I go over it in that pressed fern, it's not going to be picking up that green underneath. So let's get some white berries in here. I'm going to make these white berries around here. And I think I'm going to get... So I need to get some white out here. It's really easy to change your colors. It happens to me a lot. It's funny how you think you're going one direction with some things sometimes, and you do it and you're like, ooh, you know what? I got to do these letters in white too. I want to do those in white. But I hope everybody's having a great day and staying warm. It's very cold here. Our real feel, we can't get out of like the teens and stuff. It's not been a kind December to us unless you like really cold temperatures and a lot of snow. And I'm assuming everybody else has snow too, unless you're like in California or Florida or maybe Texas. Those nice southern kind of state. Ugh. I'm going to make these berries right there, I think, white too. So let's just do a little gray over that. And you need to do that, especially with the red, or it's going to go pink on you. And I'll just do a quick coat of white there. No snow. You had rain the other day, didn't you? It's freezing in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? It's so cold here. Yeah, 83 in Southern California. Where are you at, Karen? I don't know if I've asked you before. I feel like I have. My son's in Southern California. He's in Vista. And his weather, I keep on my little weather alert, and it looks pretty darn beautiful right now. No snow. You're in Tennessee, right? Oh, wow, that's cold. Where was that at? Oh, in Gettysburg. In the 50s? Oh, 50s would be a super duper heat wave. People in Ohio would be out in their shorts. 10 here. Oh my gosh, that's so cold. That's so cold. Yeah, make sure to sprinkle. If you're just hopping on, this is the giveaway today. It's stencil number 9808, and it's a really, really cute little stencil near Orange County. Oh, I have talked to you because I think you're the one I told we went to, because we have to drive through Orange County's. He's in San Diego County. So Karen's the next county up, I guess, north. But we really haven't gone many places in Orange County. I'm trying to think of the place we went. San Clemente. It was really pretty. We went there and spent the day. I think it was in March. It's really beautiful there. 53. It's 32 here. Wow, it's 32. But it feels like 15. So it's really windy out. Super, super windy. So I'm doing the letters in white too. Yeah. I would like for all the snow to melt. And I definitely don't want freezing rain or anything like that. But boy, we're usually like in the 40s this time of year. You know, maybe some 30s, but we usually don't get a big bunch of snow until after the New Year's. So this is pretty early for us. I mean, this is really like an old-fashioned Christmas, or not Christmas, but the December's when I was growing up, when it seemed like winter started in like October. Twin Cities, 28 degrees, 6 more inches. Ooh. Oh, you're in LA County. Okay. Boy, LA, that traffic is like nothing I've ever seen. Last March, my son and his fiance, they took us to do like all the Hollywood stuff in LA, and it was super cool. And oh, I forgot to do my leaves. We'll get those. I'm going to do another coat of this poinsettia here. I think it's going to be so pretty. But we did all the stuff, and it was, I had been there before when my sister lived out at Edwards Air Force Base, but my husband had never seen like the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Griffith Park and, you know, like all the cool stuff that you see when you go there. We went and saw the La Brea tar pits. Yeah, the traffic is like nothing I've ever seen. We came back from, we went to Yosemite and Sequoia. We were coming back from Sequoia, and we had to, you have to go through LA County to get to, to the San Diego area. And I mean, it was a Sunday at like 9 o'clock, and it was just bumper to bumper traffic. I'm like, what the heck? It was unbelievable. That doesn't happen in Cleveland. They can't even drive in rain. That is true. Like, really, you just got to slow down. if you're driving in snow, and take your time. You know, the same with rain, just slow down a little bit. You know, you see people just flying and it's like, you know, just slow down a little bit and you'll be good. So we're just putting this second coat over this beautiful poinsettia. We're in Knoxville. Tennessee's a beautiful state too. I like all the states. I don't think there's really one I haven't been to that I don't like. There's still quite a few like in the middle and like the Dakotas and Montana, like that area that we haven't seen yet. So I really want to get to those areas. So I just did a second coat of red on the poinsettias, and I'm going to get a coat of this pressed fern on these holly leaves. Before I go on. Yeah, I like this a lot better. So it'll dry. Like it a lot better. It was too, that holly green was a little too vibrant with the other colors. I think this is a better choice. This is really pretty. And this is a fusion mineral color too. Illinois. Okay. We have a very beautiful country. Wisconsin's beautiful too. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Illinois. I never did get to Chicago. We always passed my sister-in-law. She lived in Illinois for a while, but it was like by the Mississippi River. I think it was Illinois. I want to say it was Illinois and Iowa. It was on the border of like Keokuk, Iowa. That was really pretty there. I'm a sucker for anything by the water. How about you girls? Okay, so let's get that brown. I just got to find my right brush. That's the Prairie Sunset. That's the whole thing, sometimes finding the right brush. There it is. Because they do get a little stained even when you... No, she wasn't in Galena. Now, Josh, when he was in Wisconsin, he was in... Oh, where was he at? Oh, my God. Waukesha? He lived there for a while. And he lived somewhere else, too. I really liked Waukesha. I thought that was really pretty. And we went to Milwaukee. I don't know where you are. We went to Mount Port Orchard, and we went to Green Bay, and we went to Madison and the Dells. Like, we covered a lot of, we like when we go visit people if they're working or something. Like my son will be working. If he can't take time off or he has to work a couple days, we go try to see all the stuff we can see while we're there. Oh, yeah. I haven't been to Long Island either, but I do want to get there. I want to go everywhere. That's the problem. The Mississippi and the Missouri. Oh, I bet that's pretty there, Karen. Okay, so I've got this Coventry again. And I'm going to do another coat on this of what I think everybody said was the mistletoe. And I want to make them separate greens. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. It's too crowded. Too crowded in Long Island. It's so funny when I feel like we all become friends on here during the lives talking and stuff. And it's very funny, you know, like I saw Kimberly or somebody asked Kimberly, like, where are you at in Tennessee? Now I'm in Ohio. I'm in the northeast corner of Ohio. And then April and Pete, their company is the Stencil Smith, and it's in Columbus, so that's like mid-Ohio. center of the state, Buckeye country, which I don't care about football, but my husband was very upset that they lost the other day. But football does nothing for me. But if you like it, you like it. He really likes it. He likes football and baseball. He loves baseball. And I don't know, do you girls like baseball? You're in La Crosse. You're right on the Mississippi River. Oh, I see your pictures, Becca. It's really beautiful there. I mean, it looks beautiful. Anything on the river is super pretty. We're close to Lake Erie, but we're not on it or anything like that. And again, as you can see, I'm putting this second coat on here, and it is, you know, deepening things, the pine cone, all that stuff. It looks so pretty. And then let's get, we did the berries in a second coat. We need to do another coat of the middle of the sunflower. So let's get that prairie sunset. Or it's not a sunflower. You're like, she really doesn't know her flowers. The poinsettia. I use this color for sunflowers a lot though, is what the problem is. And then we're gonna do another coat of white, and we'll start doing some shading then. Just some dry brush shading. Like football the best. Thank you. Yeah, it's a real pretty green color. Blue's my favorite color, but green is a second. It's my second favorite color. And we're just getting that in there. Oh, thank you, Donna. I listed them, but I am going to have to change it. Some are Fusion Mineral and some are Deco Arts. I really like to use Fusion Mineral a lot for outside because it does have a built-in top coat. I still seal it, but for my stuff. Oh, red's your favorite color? You like baseball? Hi, Nancy. How are you? I swear I feel so bad. We go to baseball games and it's like torture for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the longest game ever. I'll be like, it's only the 5th inning. But if you love baseball, you love it. Like my husband, I know we went to Indians. It was back when they were at the Indians or the Guardians now. It was years ago. We were really young and we went to the home opener. As a matter of fact, it was so long ago, it was at the Cleveland Stadium, which doesn't exist anymore. The Browns and the Indians both used to play there. And I think it went into like 18 innings or something like that. It went into overtime forever. And he didn't want to leave. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was before, you know, you had cell phones and stuff like that. And it was a long game. A long, long game for someone who doesn't really care for baseball. You coach your daughter in softball? That's fun. My husband coached our kids in softball, baseball, and football. Prefer to watch it on TV. I tell you what though, I did get, you know, during COVID, everything was so strange and things were canceled and stuff like that. But I'll never forget when they finally had the first, I believe it was the first baseball game. And they came out and they sang the national anthem. I think the Cleveland Orchestra might even have played it for that first game. And it was like when they first started after COVID. And I got a little teary-eyed. I almost cried just because it just felt like, oh my gosh, it's in the background. The noise that I usually hear with Jeff watching that, it felt like a return to normalcy. Isn't it weird how some things hit you? Very strange. Okay, so I think we got some good colors going here. Oh, thank you, Judy. Jinx. Okay, so I am going to do this green again, this pressed fern. I'm really glad that I changed it. So you could probably go with a much deeper, I think there's a forest green or something like that in Fusion that would be pretty similar, a dark forest green to this green. And it's kind of this, because this, I feel like this has a little bit of maybe even blue tint to it, this green. But I like it. This was the one I was originally going to go with, but I was like, oh, holly, it says holly. But after I got going, I was like, ooh, I don't like that. So it's comical. My Apple Watch is telling me to stand, and I haven't sat down for like the last probably 3 hours. I guess because I'm standing still. Sorry about that. It doesn't pick up on me moving around at all, even though I'm standing up. Always telling me what to do. When we first got our Apple Watches, we were in, now I'm going to give a quick dry on this, and then we're going to do a little bit of shading. The lighter green, you know what, I keep saying Coventry. It's not Coventry. I knew that wasn't right. It's Conservatory. It's Fusion Mineral Conservatory. I use this green a lot. It's a really, really good green. So this is Conservatory. I have to change that. I'm like, I know Coventry's not right. Coventry's like the name of the city close to downtown Cleveland. So let me change that in my, I'll have to change the pressed fern too. The brown is sable brown, but I think it's a nice combo. And we'll do just a little bit of like shading, I think, on it. Okay. So I think I'm going to take this yellow, this Prairie Sunset, and really offload it there. I did get my moon yellow out. I might, let's try this and see how it looks. And I'm going to kind of lightly shade the middles. Of those poinsettias. Yellow's a really good color to add a little glow to anything. It's not as stark as white, and it looks a little glowy. I usually use moon yellow, but I've already got this guy out, so I'm just using a little bit and just kind of getting in the center there. And it just kind of makes it look like light's hitting it. And I thought about grabbing some of this deep burgundy here. This is Deco Arts Deep Burgundy. And I was going to put a little bit out and maybe shade around the edges of the poinsettia. I'm going to have a lot of brushes to clean. Let me get a smaller brush. I'm going to get a smaller brush. And when I'm doing this shading, I'm offloading a lot. Like I want a very, very dry brush. Drier than normal. And I'm kind of going around the edges just a little bit. And it's just kind of darkening. And since it's in the same color combo, but it's a darker, deeper, just going around the, and it kind of just gives it a little bit of dimension. I don't know if you can, let me see, this camera. See that? Let's see, get it right. how the middle kind of glows a little bit and it gives the outside a little bit. Yeah, yellow is really, really nice for that. And the one I use the most often for that is, hi Kathy, how are you? Is this moon yellow. That is a great, great one. And it just kind of gives it a little bit of a glow on anything. And so I'm gonna kind of go around the edges of this with that burgundy. And we've still got that, you know, that really pretty red on there, but this is just kind of giving it like a little bit more dimension. Kind of like when you do the stained glass windows, or the stained glass stencils. Now I'm just going to take my same brush that I had in my sable brown, and I'm going to put a little bit of this espresso out, which is a darker brown here. And I'm just going to put some on that brush, and it will be a little lighter than normal because I have that sable brown underneath, but it's still going to be darker. And you're going to offload, and you're just going to kind of maybe go around the tips of the pine cone. I'm going to get a little bit more out because I didn't get enough. Make sure I'm getting the right color I am. So has everybody got their Christmas shopping done? I'm almost. Oh, thank you, Karen. It's so very cold, I know. So very cold, Kathy. I agree. I can hear the wind. Like, I'm very warm in here. I can really warm my garage up. The only thing I can't do it is cool it very well in the summer. So I'm kind of going around like on the edges, and I might come in here a little bit, like on the inner parts of that. And I'm going to get just a little bit more. And you can go with even a darker brown, but it really gives it, when you do this, I mean, there's no like right or wrong to this. Honestly, just do what you think looks good. If you don't like it, just paint over it. I don't think there's really a right or wrong way. People all have different methods and stuff like that to different things. Some people might sponge to stencil. I hate to sponge. You know, it just depends. But if you add a little bit of dry brushing to your things, and if it's in the same color factor or color family, it adds. So if you can see here around the pine cone how it added like a little bit of dimension to the pine cone. And you could even add little dots of snow and stuff too. All done and wrapped. Oh my gosh, I wish I was. Not anywhere near done. I'm not either. I was working on ironing a bunch of pillowcases. I have a bunch of orders before I can even get to the gifts that I'm making for Christmas. Who knows, right? So I think I'm going to take a little bit of that burgundy again that I used on the poinsettia, and I might do just a little bit on the yellow. And you'll be surprised how it just adds something. And I don't know if I'll do it. Let me see how it looks with the white. I think I'm gonna do a little bit with the white too. You have to be careful with white and red. And this is that deep burgundy, because it can start to look really pink. But it just, you know, if you're just doing it like, you know, a little bit, it'll add just a little bit of dimension, depth to your little berries. And who says you always have to use black and white, right? Oh, I like that. She used a chip brush. That looks really pretty. And I'm going to use a little bit of that pressed fern, that darker green. And I'm going to use it around the edges of the leaves. And I'm just going. And like I said, if you don't like how it looks, you can go right back over it with paint. You saw how I did that already. But it's a really quick, easy way to add just a little bit of depth or dimension to anything. Let's see, and I want to add, I'm going to add a little bit of the lighter green. I think that's the lighter green to the darker green. And I'm going to do the same thing. I've offloaded it real good, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges. The little berries, we can put little white dots on them. Boy, is that wind wicked out there. You can just hear it, it's howling. Let's do a little bit, that's too big. Okay, let's do a little dot of the white on the berries. Just like the light's hitting it. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. There we go, like that. Hey Chris, how are you? Thanks, Becca, I appreciate it. You could add a couple in the dark brown too with a smaller one. Let's see how big that is. You could add a couple. These are great, these little stylus. I don't know if a poinsettia really has this, but it's my poinsettia, so it's going to. And again, it just adds a little bit more like interest, and like you could take a little bit of white too and put it on the tips of the snow or the pine cone, like snows on it. Let's see, get that one. Just added a whole bunch of them. Let me think here. I feel like there was something else I was gonna do. Let me take a peek here and see how it's looking. Oh, it's looking so pretty. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this off and we're gonna close the bridges. Oh, I love it. Okay, now you can kind of see it come together. I'm gonna close the bridges, but see how the shading added just a little bit. I put those little dots in the shading and the dots in the middle of the poinsettia, stuff like that, but that turned out beautiful. So I think these are the mistletoe, and I think this is the holly. I think. Thank you so much. Now I am going to close the bridges here real quickly. I'll show you how to do that. We're not too bad on time, so let me do that. And one thing I do want to show you is, I believe I showed it a little bit on my live on Sunday, but these bridges right here, you don't have to close them. White can be hard to close, but I do get my liner brush. I'm going to use a 0 on this, and because this is, I started with gray, I'm going to do, well, that gray needs a little bit of water in it. I'm going to dip my brush in and add a little bit of water to this gray because it's kind of dried out a little bit. But I'm going to do my first coat of my bridge in gray because it's the same thing. You don't want it to be, because it'll look different because you've done the gray underneath and then the white. And so I'm just adding that pop of gray down there. And it doesn't take super long. You do not have to do this. Whoops, I just dumped my thing of paint. I'm gonna grab a little bit. And I usually grab a little bit and I dab it just once on something, so there's not a big glob. I gotta look at this for a minute. Okay, this is connected here. It's all meant to flow. It's one big long. Okay, so just those couple there. And then I'm gonna dry it and I'm gonna put white over it. White is the hardest, I'm not gonna lie. White is a pain in the butt. So this stencil is going to be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And then with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGN, SHACK, it will be an additional 15%. So you'll be getting 35% off this stencil. And then throw a couple brushes in there if you want. And if you order anything else stencil-wise, you will get an extra. So again, you're just going to dab that off. You're going to get an extra 15% off with my code. And that's good any time of the year. And I think I'm going to do a little dotting on the letters, I do believe. And if your white lettering ends up looking really different, give it a little light sand after it dries good with packing paper, with like this. Rough it up just a little bit. This is like the finest of sandpaper. It's like this paper, you just crumple it up and sand with it. And honestly, if you look at stuff, like if you go to Hobby Lobby or something like that, you walk along, you'll notice that signs, sometimes they put imperfections in them. And I think they do that to make them look more human, because we're certainly not perfect. So it doesn't bother me. But you do want to put that gray underneath. I've found it makes the white look better too when you're doing the bridges. It seems to cover better. And I am using a 0. I'm using the Stencil Smith liner brushes. They are awesome. And if you water your paint down a little bit too, that does help. There, I need just a little bit more. And I usually start in the middle of a bridge and work outward, because I don't want to put a big glob. Your dotting tool. I know you told, I really liked how you did that too on the one stencil. I'm going to give this a quick dry because I want to put some dots. On the first letter of each word. And let me get my dotting tool. And I'm actually going to do red and green. I'm going to use this fern. I'm going to do red. I think my, ooh, that's burgundy. I want to do my Fort York red. So I'm getting my dotting tool again. And I'm going to get my Fort York red. And I'm actually going to do 1, 2. I'm going to put a green one in the middle. Usually I put the same color. I love a dotting tool. Sometimes you're like, ooh, did I go too far? Let me look here. Oops, that's the wrong S. Got a piece of dried. Keep going to the wrong S. And then I'm going to rinse my thing off. And I'm going to grab that green, that pressed fern. There. And I'm going to do that one in the middle of each, just to do something a little different. I don't know. And that looks really cute. I like that. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Yeah, this is just a dotting tool, or there's a little one that's like a cluster of them, and they're really cheap. They're styluses, I think they call them too. I think that's what they actually call them. But see how you can add little dots to your letters just like that. So I did red, green, pull some of the red and green just to be a little different instead of doing all red. Dotting tools are awesome, and they are so cheap. So I really, really like this. I think this is so pretty. I can't wait. Now, you know what's fun? I'm going to try. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So this is going to be a wooden flag. So I did, thank you, everyone. So I did put holes. I drilled them 3 inches on center. Let's see. I don't know if you could see them right there and there. I pre-drilled the holes. And I buy these hooks, and I will list the hooks on Amazon. Whoops. And then I just, you could put a little wood glue down in the hole if you want. But really, these are so long. And you just put them down in there like that. Let's see, I'm not even in the camera. There we go. And you screw them down in there. And then they hang, these hang on your garden flag holder. I need my, a pair of needle nose pliers or something. I think we went through this last time, didn't we, girls? So these hooks are awesome. I haven't got it all the way down. I'll do that after the live because, ooh, I don't have my needle nose pliers over here. But anyhow, you can see, so they go like that. And then you just hang this. So you put your other one here, and you would just hang this on your wooden flag. And so I'll have this on this side, and I'll have my Rudolph on the other side. And when I make these to sell, like I said, I sold a lot of these at the fall show, and I do get a lot of local orders for them too. The only thing, like I said before, and it's just if you're hopping on now, is make sure you tell people to take them down in high winds. Like today, I don't think I would leave it out there because they will bend your thing, and only use the one-piece hangers from like Home Depot. I buy them at Walmart. Actually, I have to buy some new ones. I had a whole bunch I bought, and there are more now, so it makes me sad. I got to go buy more. But and you could just make this as a sign. But anytime I do this size, it's like that size, I want to make a garden flag. And I think they look so pretty, and they're so different. than anything. Nobody else, I guarantee, nobody at the craft show had wooden garden flags. People were amazed by them. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, I did that on Sunday, Maggie, which it goes good with the poinsettia too. That went with my Rudolph over here. So, I'm going to set this aside, and we are going to have a drawing in a few minutes for this. It's horrible here too, Judy. I'm waiting. I'm like, gosh, I hope I get through that. So let me set this aside with my hook. And don't forget that's on sale today and tomorrow. And I'm going to show you a couple new stencils I've gotten. Now, I don't know if I showed this to you before. And then as soon as I'm done, we'll pull the winner. But this is the snow globe stencil here. I'm going to set this right here so I can just grab them. And it's super cute, and there is another snow globe one that actually has a base, and I think you could probably interchange these, but it's super cute with the house, and it's got Santa on the rooftop. I don't know if I showed you the stencil before or not, but it's got the little brick and the door, and this is what it looks like finished right here. So this is the stencil right here that's done. I used a 1x12 that was cut 16 inches long TL. So this is a wooden snow globe, but look how it really looks kind of realistic. I mean, it's really a cool thing. And this is the stencil that I used on it. So I did want to show you that done, so you could see, but it would also look super cute just on a round as well. You know, like you could totally do it on a round. You don't have to do it on a snow globe. And this is stencil number, let me see, but it's just adorable. Thank you, Danica. I even put a little bit of, we did an embellishment for the snow globe that came off of Amazon. And then see at the bottom, I put the diamond dust. So look, you know how when you shake a snow globe, so it looks like the snow settled at the bottom when we use some glitter. They are called Sui's, and I can link those. I'll link those above. I got those on Amazon, and they are amazing. They come with black liners, all except the smallest size. You have to buy like paper for that. But this is stencil number 10256, and it's the extra small. And, you know, you could get other sizes, but this would make a really, really cute door hanger as well, not just a snow globe. But let me set that aside, and I'll show you a couple other things that I've gotten recently. Okay, this one, I had every intention of making and leaving cookies, but I've done neither. My sister did cut that out, Sheila. And although she is taking a break for the next couple months, she should have a PDF that you could do it. You know, like a PDF for it that you could buy. I'll have to ask her. If she has one, I'll link that too. But I thought this was really cute. April came out with this a couple years ago. And I thought it's such a nice thing to do. I mean, we have Amazon, UPS, FedEx, the postman. But I thought, how cute would that be? Like I said, I wanted to do it and leave cookies. Or even just, you know, like some little chocolates or something like that. It's number 8614. It's a small, but it's thank you, delivery drivers. Please help yourself to a well-deserved treat. We appreciate you. Happy holidays. So I think that would be something really cute to do. Maybe next year delivery, guys. I don't think it's going to get done this year. So I got that. And then, oh, I got to do this. I've been seeing this everywhere. The stained glass snowflake. Yeah, that would be a great one for a flag too, right? This is number 10272, and it's a medium. And this is the stained glass snowflake. And remember, any of these you can save 15% with my coupon coupon code Sign Shack along with the sale one. So this is the snowflake stained glass one that you've seen so many people do, and it is just gorgeous. It's so pretty. And this I could do, and I could do it after, because in Chardon we snowed through March, so. And let me grab this one here. Oh, this one's so pretty. I'll show one more. And this is beautiful. This is another one that would look so pretty in a lot of the colors we did today. Season Greetings. And I got the large. The Cardinal one. Oh, is that the Cardinal stained glass? Yeah, I have that one. I still have to have done that. This is actually to go out at my mom's, by my mom's headstone. They allow us to put stuff out there. I finally sealed it. I still haven't got there. But this is the Robin one she was talking about. And this is a stained glass stencil. We did that a couple years ago, I think on a live. I know we did. And then this is the words we added. Your life was a blessing. Your memory a treasure. You are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. But I haven't got it to the cemetery yet. So this is the one. I don't know what stencil number this is. I don't have it pulled or anything. But these were two together. This is a stained glass stencil too. But you see how you do all that shading like we just did? Like on the red and the white and it just, the blue, it just adds so much depth. And it makes it look like stained glass. Really, really does. One of these days I'll get that out to my mom. I have an old one there, but it's looking a little worn. I know Judy has done a ton of those cardinals. She gets order after order after order for it. But I think I showed you this, and this is, Sherry's like, let's start that drum roll. This is stencil number 10257, and it's an extra large, and this, it would just, to me, this reminds me of like a very old-fashioned looking, like something vintage. Even the season greetings, I just love it. So that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to draw the winner for the stencil. Thank you so much, Judy. I know the stained glass are probably my favorites. This is the giveaway today. It's a nice little background stencil. Nice for borders, nice for the backs of boards. Oh, there's my Santa one too back there that I did on a live not too long ago. But Sherry is doing the drum roll. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, everybody. Oh, also, next week, I'm going to have to go on an hour early. I usually go on at 4 p.m. EST, but I'm going to have to go on at 3 p.m. EST. My grandson has a Christmas concert that I don't want to miss, and there's no way if I do my 4 o'clock live that I'll be able to make it to his concert in time. Oh, thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I appreciate you so much. Make sure to follow me. Make sure to follow the Stencil Smith. And make sure to join Paint and Share with Stencil Smith if you haven't. It landed on Sandy Million Hicks. So Sandy Million Hicks, you are the winner. Come back next week. Join us at 3 p.m. EST for another fun live. And we'll see you then. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful week and weekend. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Sandy. Bye-bye.